Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals the first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at the 3. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. A check on the numbers last week for Conner. 22 carries, 82 yards.
And they love what they've gathered in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
On the ready.
Throwing on first down. Far. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power. Gets to the perimeter and can outrun people. Catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here. Throwing on third and long. Far. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid.
From just shy of midfield, Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand. Yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Like 5. 56. Check 56. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they
Boswell to send it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The numbers for Mixon last week: 18 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And now a fumble. The ball's out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Great. 50. All day, baby, all day. Hey, we got time right. Everyone's got 4 down. Yeah.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. On second down, here's Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Here's Switzer. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive will start with Connor. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And it's third down.
That was a long pass attempt downfield, and the ball was popped up in the air. And how come things go from really fast to almost slow motion when the ball's up in the air and the defender's unable to haul it in before it hits the ground?
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Geno Atkins got home that time.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
They go play action now. Roethlisberger. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. James Washington with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. 17-0 our score after 1. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup. I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block.
Set, ready, 10-2 stop. Watch the out. Mike 50. Set, go. I'm coming close, son. Let's go.
On second down now, Mixon. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Looking to throw. Far. And the catch good. It's Eifert. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. That's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Roethlisberger now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
They should have known, baby.
And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. On 2nd down, it's Snell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Black 20. Let's go, tight end. Let's go.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
We play to win. Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Come on, come get some. Come get some. Come on, come get some. He don't want it.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 18. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Here we go, here we go.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today.
A 28-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Back to throw. Far. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Far. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Far. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll kick things off with a couple of blue-collar towns with blue-collar football teams. Baltimore hosting Oakland. And it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. The Raiders trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Kiki Cutie, a touchdown reception. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. It's a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And the return will stop right around the 25. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Still 1st down.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking to throw. Far. Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks and the speed and quickness of that defensive line.
And he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And the pressure gets to him again. T.J. Watt in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd and a yard, Roethlisberger going deep to the end zone for Juju. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and short.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Black 20. 56. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
On 1st down, it's Snell again. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
On second down and 4.
Rush to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll go with Snell here on first down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's it.
But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They're going to run again with Snell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So 1st and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Now it's Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what, with his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point now by Boswell. So he missed his first 2, but this time it's good, and that'll extend the lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Green brings it in. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go, D.
Starting the drive was Snell. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Roethlisberger. He finds his tight end, Gentry. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Roethlisberger now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 2. Roethlisberger will throw. But it's brought in by Washington. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Snell. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's Snell yet again. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Roethlisberger over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down.
Let's go. 25, check 20.
Ready?
On the delay, it's Mixon. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd and 2, Farr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
To throw on 3rd down. Farr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Who's 30?
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. On 2nd down, Finley again. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Finley to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. They'll run with Snell to begin the drive. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Like 30. Strong right. Strong right. Come on.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Like 5. What's left? What's left? Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He completes it to Boyd. Tyler Boyd, he's going to go. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, 82 yards. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly.
That's caught at the 25. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Pittsburgh, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.